Hello, everybody. I'm Andre here with another episode of the AF Podcast, the Andre Fernandez Podcast. That is me, myself, because I couldn't come up with a better title and just decided to just name it after myself. So on today's podcast, I am by myself. There is nobody here with me. This is for two reasons. One of them, I lent my friend the other microphone so we can go do some things and record audio, and he has yet to give it back to me, so I don't have a second microphone to record, but nevertheless, he should give it back to me, otherwise I'm going to go find him, kill him, and kidnap him. And the second reason is I wanted to do a solo podcast because if you listen to a couple of my podcasts, I always have somebody else. And anytime I do it by myself, it's usually some serious shit I'm talking about. And I know this is kind of going to be, I think maybe a little bit longer one, but it could be shorter. It doesn't matter. But I have some good things to say, and I hope that you listen to it the whole time because I know some people just don't want to hear myself talk. To hear for the other people that I bring on. So with that being said, I was up late last night. I was just thinking about I need to talk about this shit, and it's good. It's good to go. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into it. A lot of guys, and I include myself in this way, have a horrible time finding the right woman. Okay, finding the right chick. Okay, it's a hard game to beat. I don't understand how a lot of these bitches out here are, it's always been the guys. I'm like saying I'm stuttering. I just can't. I know what I have to say. I just can't fucking say it. But majority of the time, it's the guy's opportunity to go and talk to the girl, and then he asks her out. That's always how it's always been. I'm probably gonna say like that. I don't know how it's like. I think it's just females are too. I mean, I don't want to say this for everybody, but in most cases, most girls just don't want to make the first move, and most majority of the guys want to do it. And if you have if you're a female listening to this, hear me out. A lot of guys go up to and ask you out. A lot of them are fuckboys because they have the courage. They're too easygoing to go around and get as many bitches as they can because he's so used to it. He's so relaxed and easygoing. So a lot of times that's the person that's asking you out. Very occasionally it's the actually genuine good person asking you out, going up to you and talking to you because a lot of us don't want to do that. If somebody really, really, really likes you, chances are they're too nervous to even go up and ask. I've had that to myself as well. I remember back a long time ago, there was this girl that was asking me, who do I like? And I was going to say the person's name, but it took me forever to say it. I don't understand the saying someone says, it's at the tip of my tongue. Like I'm about to fucking say it. She asked me, so Andre, who do you like? And I'm like, I like, and I couldn't say it. I don't know what the fuck happened. Like some fucking demon spell shit went over me, and I just couldn't say the fucking name. And I was just like, blah, blah, blah. I eventually did say it, but then I walked out the room like instantly. It was a very hard experience for most guys, and I hope if you're any ladies listening that you take pity on any person that goes up and asks you. And I don't fault any guys for choosing notes and sending text messages because doing it in person is like the most fucking heartache balls and shit. What's a proposal? Like holy shit, you probably want to fucking kill yourself. I think a lot of guys out here don't even want to get married because they're too much of pussies to fucking do it. So that's a thing. Anyways, for my fellas out there, majority of my listeners, it's hard to go out and ask somebody that you like because it's fucking difficult. Like there's so many scenarios going through your head, but because when you want to ask somebody out, you're just like, what are they gonna fucking say? Are they gonna say no? Majority of the time they're gonna fucking say no. I'm sorry, fellas, about that. But you're just like, what if they're gonna fucking say no? What are they gonna? Then it ruins the whole entire friendship you ever had. Depending if you just go out to a girl and be like, hey, do you want to date me? Like this flat out question, like the fuck you doing? You're just trying to get a nut in there, bro. Just calm the fuck down. But when it comes to asking somebody you genuinely love, like that is like the hardest decision, okay? Fucking, all right, like fucking, there could be the guy who has to fucking push the nuclear bombs on Hiroshima, okay? Tougher decision than that is fucking asking out a chick that you really, really like. And you feel nervous and shit. And let me talk about experiences that when I've asked people out in the past, it's been brutal because I'm over here. I've known them for a while, and I talk to them. In the back of my mind, I'm like, it'd be really great to be with this person for a long time. So you go and ask them, and then they say "fuck you." Most of the times, they don't say "fuck you." I understand the uncomfortableness as a female to be able to have to say without hurting their feelings and shit. But I think it has to go both ways. Like, as a guy, you have to understand that she's not trying to hurt you. But as a female, understand that he is going to be hurt regardless of what you're going to fucking say. And the whole entire, I like you as a friend, that type of thing, it gets to guys just like, the fuck? All right. The fuck you just say, bitch? And it also confuses me a lot with a lot of bitches who find their male friend and they talk to them and it's like, I need a guy just like you. Well, bitch, I am just like me, all right? And you don't even fucking do it. And that confuses me off. I had somebody that I was talking to, and she, me and her were really, really good friends, like 10 out of 10, amazing. And it came a point where I was like, maybe I might like this person. So I was talking to one of my female friends. I'm like, yeah, that girl, that one, I like her. And she's like, oh, yeah, you do? I'm like, yeah. And then she went and told her. And then she's like, Andre, I don't want to date you. And I was like, oh, fuck. And I was upset, but understanding. And the reason she told me was very, very genuine. She's like, I don't want to date anybody yet. I have things I want to focus on in my life. Having a boyfriend is like a full-time job I don't want to take on amongst my actual full-time job. And I'm like, that makes total sense. It's completely okay, although I'm like low-key over here in the corner crying. And then a week later, almost 2 weeks, it's actually more like 2 weeks, I don't want to exaggerate. Like 2 weeks later, she gets a fucking boyfriend, a fuck boy guy who's like really, really fuck boy. She's got the fucking like swish haircut, six packs and shit. And I don't blame her. She probably got like a nice piece of like fucking meat right there. And she's like, I'm going to take that, what the fuck, Andre and shit. It's just, if you could have just been honest with me, I don't think she was being honest with the whole entire, I don't want to be a job. I don't want to take you on, that type of thing. Just, if you want to just own up to it, not fucking lie, that would be highly grateful, instead of just playing this cat and mouse game of, you were a good friend, you were a good guy, but I don't want to date, what is that over there, a guy with the fucking 10-inch cock, let me go over there and fuck him. That's how it be sometimes. And I also gotta say, if you have a crush on somebody, just fucking say it already. Like, stop being like, I have this crush on person, I don't want to fucking say it. There was a person that had a crush on me for the longest fucking time. And she didn't even say shit. I'm like, and then she told me like fucking, when I was with somebody else, it was like a long time later, it's like, I had a crush on you. I'm like, bitch, why don't you fucking tell me? I would have been like, whoopie-de-doo, let's go at it, If you just have it, just fucking say it. Because not 9 times out of 10, but a good portion of a chance that they may like you too. So if you have a crush, just fucking do it. And if you're being a pussy, then nothing's gonna come of it. And it just becomes a meaningless strategy wise. But I can understand why, if you have a crush, you're very, very sensitive about, I don't want to go and ruin everything, because I've had that as well, where you've had somebody like you're crushing on them, and then you tell them you like them, and the whole entire scenario just becomes all wacky and shit, and you don't want to talk, and it gets all crazy. But you also, this is the point where we have to kind of trust me from my experiences. For if you're a person listening and you want to talk to somebody and you want to admit your feelings, you're just not having the guts to do it, be happy in the sense that if you go and talk to them, you can't, I'm not going to go here and basically say that every time you go out there and ask them, they're going to say yes. But at the same time, you're never going to know if they're going to say yes if you don't fucking say it. I think I've had some victory moments where I'm just like, I like you, and then she says, I like you too, and you're like, oh, fuck, and you just fucking start coming and shit. And that feeling is the greatest feeling of like knowing somebody likes you too, and that's like, oh, great. But then I also understand how fucking devastating and emo and you want to fucking cut yourself when she says, I don't like you. And that fear overtakes the possibility of greatness that happens. That fear of, she's going to say no. And then you just let that fear control you. And then you never actually make a move. And I think that's the problem with a lot of guys struggling with. They're too afraid to make that move. And for you ladies out there, to make it more simpler is, if I I'm not saying for women to go and ask out guys, because I think it just becomes fucking weird at that point. It's like a girl goes up to ask a guy and like, the fuck? And then you could also, I know women also like to play the, let me talk to my friend and my friend talks to you. And then you go through a third man. So you always, it's a lot of relationships that have always included a middleman. You always have, I like you and you like me, but let's talk to our friend that's in mutual between us. And that's like the middleman. I've had a lot of situations go like that. I don't expect women to just go out there and be like, I like you, okay? And shit like that. But if you are liking somebody, and I don't want you to break the courage to go talk to them, use the middleman person you always do. Or just go and be upfront with the person. Because when you send signals to somebody, they go crazy. Like if you just said, you know, for a person that's like very, very alone and doesn't talk to anybody, for a girl that goes up to him and is like, you have really nice hair today, sir, you know? He's probably like, well, this bitch wants to fuck me, okay, I take my cock and start masturbating right there. Okay, when you throw small signals like that, it completely messes up a guy's head. And I just wish that there would be more communication, because I've seen this happen plenty of times. Now, when I'm not talking about myself, I've had experiences go south, but I've also, I don't want to come off as like fucking Dr. Phil or some shit, but I've had a great, I don't want to say like a fucking massive number, like I've got fucking millions of patients, but I've had a couple of people always come up to me and ask me, I don't know how to feel about this boy, I don't know how to feel about this girl, she's being crazy as shit. I've seen this time and time again, it's a whole bunch of miscommunication. And this whole entire, you don't love me, you don't, blah, blah, blah. People take for granted the idea of love, because love is just a crazy emotion. Love will make you do anything. Love will make you want to fucking kill somebody. Like, that's just serious. Like, talking about anger and sadness, those are, all the emotions are pretty great, but I just like focusing on love. Love will make you do a lot of things. If you love somebody, you will fucking die for them, okay? If you're angry at somebody, you would want to fucking kill them as well. So, but love is a powerful emotion. I think it's quite possibly one of the scariest ones, because when you're a kid, you feel angry a lot, you know, and it's easy to get angry. And as a child, you feel sad a lot, and you get to experience sadness. But love, it doesn't really come on until a bit later. And, you know, of course, you're like kids and you love your dog, so to speak. It's not the same as a romantic love. And I think that when love comes in, when you're a teenager, you know, getting into like young adult, you're like, what the fuck is this? Holy shit, I'm fucking scared. So that's why I think love is a huge emotion. You know, a lot of love songs go out there, and people talk about their love songs, and that's like the number one market. I think that might be right, that majority of songs out in the world are love songs, because it's just like, oh boy, it's so important, so much. And that's why like a lot of movies, they have on the ability of like having a love interest in movies. Paris gets into film shit, but anyways, going back to the point, I've wanted to tell this story for a long time now, and I've been waiting for the right moment to talk about it, just because I needed time to reflect on it. But I think this will help a lot of people out there who are ever listening, maybe one or two persons that are listening. I hope you take this story to heart, what I'm about to say. And the reason being is I'm saying this as a learning experience for somebody out there. And I'm not saying this to try and get people to feel sorry for me, but it was a heartbreaking experience for me. God, I'm like fucking sound like I'm about to fucking choke up and cry talking about it, but keeping it in, my boys. So there was this girl that I was talking to for a long time, best friend, and she became my best friend all the time, that type of thing. And love had overtaken me to do some weird shit. Like I would fucking text good morning and all that stuff, and I would just like write like, you know, you're a great person and all that, and I would just write all these things to her, and she would be like, that's very sweet of you, you know, very sweetness and stuff. And I would just continuously write on and on and on, and soon it came very, very months passed, like a lot of months passed, and I came to the point of like, let me start trying to persuade her with my moves, my tactics, and I started talking to her more often, and then I started, you know, flirting a bit more instead of just being like, how you know, like, how was your day? Did you have a good day, sweetie, or some shit like that? It was really like stupid. Like I'm terrible at being romantic as fuck. Like I'm really bad. So I just started flirting with her more and more, and she kind of flirted back. I'm not gonna lie. Like at first she was like, "Oh, okay," you know. It came to a point where I was just like, I gotta fucking say something, my son. And she would be in the back of my mind, and I would just sit back and I would just play on my guitar, and I would just like start like tune, like I'll be like playing like one strum at a time, and I'll just like started like thinking about her and playing the guitar, and then I wrote a whole entire love song about her. I know, just over a girl, like you wrote a love song. Yeah, I went there. And there was a time when I bought her a gift. It was like fucking $80. Like, holy shit, it was a lot of money. And I bought it for her, and she was very appreciative of it. And I was just madly in love. You know what I mean? It's just that feeling of just like, where you like somebody, and you just want to do everything for them you can. I reached that point, and I was just like, wake up in the morning, find out what she wants. I will fucking accomplish it. That was my mission for her every day. And I would make sure to send a good morning text, good night text, fucking, you just use the bathroom, have a good bathroom, some shit. Yeah, I was just fucking doing it, and I was just fucking into it. 10 out of 10. And I know some of you may be like that right now, where you just like somebody, you just want to do everything you can for them. Just like you're fucking going to the store. I want to go to the store with you. You go to the bathroom. I want to go to the bathroom with you. You just start doing every little thing you can, spend every second with them. And that was me. I was just going hammer on this chick, not fucking her, but just going hammer, as aggressive as doing anything and everything. I got to the point where I was ready to make my move and stuff like that. So I got her, it was late at night, and I was like, let me call her. And at this time I had written my song, and I played my song on a video, and I had sent it to her. And then I called her, and I was talking to her, and I was just saying, listen, there are so many fucking thoughts in the world, and you're not a thought, you know, and I like you. And I didn't say, I said I love you, like that shit. And I just confessed all my feelings. I was just like, all right, listen, boy, I like you for this. And I just like, of course, not like all straight up and shit. And I was just fucking explaining, and I was just giving it all I got. It got down to the point where I was just like, and yeah. And after spending like 30 minutes fucking talking about my whole entire like 10-page essay of why I love you with my citations and shit, she's just like, oh my. You know, she's like, she took a second to pause it all, because I just explained everything. I had written a love song for her. I had dedicated my time, all this just for her. And she's just like, you're very sweet, Andre. You're amazing. You know, she said all these great things, and I was just like, oh shit, this is gonna happen. And I was all like, and when she started saying these good compliments, I was just like, oh fuck, it's happening, everybody. And inside I'm like, yeah, boy. And she just started like saying like, you're so great, but she said the word but, I was like, fuck. She's like, but I don't see you that way. And I was just like, what the fuck, man? Not really like, what the fuck? I didn't say, I was just like, oh. And I like fucking was like emo as shit. I was fucking like, next week I was like fucking sad. And at that point, after putting all that time and energy in your heart, you're just like, what's the point of living? And you get all depressed as fuck, and you're just like, why am I even here? Why did I spend all this time? And I felt like a fucking idiot. Quite simply. I felt like, what was the point of all the past time I just spent? Because it was like nothing mattered, because she didn't love me. And that goes through so many people's heads whenever they get rejected. And I hope people who, not even just for people who are going to get rejected, but the people who are rejecting somebody, know that that's how they feel. Unless they're a fuckboy, then just let them be. I guess I just want you to understand how I felt. And in that moment, I felt like I was worth nothing, and I didn't want to live. I was all emo as fuck, to be quite honest. I was like, fuck my life, you know? And I just felt like fucking smashing my guitar at one point. I'm like, this guitar made me write a song. And I was just completely, and some of you might have went through that shit as well. So after that happened, I was completely devastated. But I got better from it. I didn't kill myself and think the world was over. I kept going. And I just kept doing what I was doing before. I just went back to life. It was hard at first. Like, I'm not saying after this shit you can be like, whoopsie-doo, keep going. And I don't claim that's gonna be even easy at all. But I say there will be a time when you do fully recover after rejection. You're just like, the fuck is up with life? And it was hard. I'm not gonna fucking lie. I'm just fucking repeating myself at this point. But afterwards, I put myself together, and I'm fine now. Thinking back on it now, those are some dark times. But when people say it's gonna get better tomorrow, you fucking don't want to believe that shit, but it really is. And I still think back on it whenever I hold my guitar and shit. I'm just like, fuck, because I've even written some love songs on my guitar and shit, being all fucking shitty and shit, because I'm not a fucking guitarist. I'm not fucking amazing at all on guitar. I'm just semi-good. Like, I know fucking chords and shit, but I'm not a good guitarist. People always tell me that, like, oh, bro, you good at guitar? You fucking get all the bitches. I'm like, yeah, I do. Where are they? So you can tell me where they are, because I don't see any. I just hope that you'll learn from this, and that you'll take what I said and apply it to yourself moving forward. And if you have somebody, then make sure you fucking tell them they're amazing 10 out of 10. If you're trying to find that person and you think you have, then try and make that step today. And if you currently just went through that rejection, just know that it sucks and it's time to grieve, but there will be a better tomorrow, because I know there will be. And if you just rejected somebody, talk to that person and just make them feel comfortable, because this is something we're all going to go through, regardless if we have or haven't or we're going to be. It's going to be great. And to end the podcast, I wanted to play that song that I wrote for her. I'm not good at singing by any means, but I was just into her so much that I started just doing my own thing. And my voice is bad. I'm not a good singer, but I just like fucking just singing, because even if my voice was bad, I just wanted her to hear the words and shit. Well, we met by chance and we met by fate. Remembered your face, you remembered my name. Don't see what anyone can see in anyone else, but you sure are cute for a girl with glasses. Don't say that often to too many people. Don't see what anyone can see in anyone else, but your eyes are a comforting thing to see. Your smile is a beautiful time to be. I don't see what anyone can see in anyone else, but I'm always trying to keep it real. I wish you knew how I feel. I don't see what anyone can see in anyone else, but my heart is for you and my days are for you. Can't you see that I do love you? I don't see what anyone can see in anyone else, but